dabbed it. Done with that part.
Thank you so much, ladies, for all of the love and support on this post. I had a few of you request this blue look, and now it is up. Make sure you are following me on Instagram as well at JD Winners. And without further ado, let's get this tutorial started.
Alright, so we're gonna start off with priming the lids. You always want to prime the lids before you get started with applying your eyeshadow. So I'm going to use, like I always use, is the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. Try to scoop what I do have out and then just apply it to my lid.
Alright, going into my new favorite palette by Morphe. This is Second Nature.
So I'm going to try to remember how I did this.
The first shade I'll be using is this beautiful brown called Rich.
And then we're just gonna, oh, that's dark. Pat that on there. So first, what I usually like to do is to pat it onto my lid and then go back and forth.
So make sure that when you are blending that you're not doing like a and then you're done, that's it. You gotta keep going until you can't blend anymore. Blending is definitely key.
Alright, so once I've worked that in, I'm now going to go into, I think that's what I did. Y'all bear with me because I did not jot this down on the particular order that I went in. This is the number 7 brush. I'm going to leave all the details about brushes and stuff like that in the description box if you want to know. Now going into WHIZ, this black color right here. I did not use much of it because I was not going for an intense dark look. So I'm gonna just pat a little bit. This palette is so pigmented. Like I didn't even intend for this much black to be on this brush. Lord Jesus. So I'm just gonna keep working that back and forth. And then I may have to go back into that brown color, that brown shade, and do this again.
So the brush that I really intended to use needed to be cleaned, and I didn't have any time for that, so I had to use this brush. It's not a bad brush, but it's not working like I wanted to. Using the Morphe M576 brush, we're gonna go right back into the Morphe palette using the color Rich. Rich. And remember to blend. Go back and forth. Don't go shh and call it a day. Do not do that. Speeding this up, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the blue.
Now it's time for the blue. We're gonna go into the, I've been having this palette for quite some time. I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you how long I've had this palette, but it's still doing very, very well, and I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not buying a new one no time soon because it's still doing what it's supposed to do. But I mean, again, don't judge me, all right? Because I know we've all held on to a palette for entirely too long and haven't used all the shadows, or haven't even, you still have a lot of the shadow left. I'm gonna throw that, and palettes are expensive. Palettes are like, what? Sometimes $30, $40. I'm not gonna throw this away if I'm not done with it, okay? But don't judge me, all right? Because I know a lot of us do that. It has to be. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. Going into the Urban Decay Electric Palette, I'm going to go into Chaos. But the thing about Chaos is that when you blend it in a little too much, it turns into like this blue-black, and that intensified blue that you first put on turns into like this blue-black look. So I wasn't a fan of that. I mean, it's still a great color, but I didn't think it was going to do that. So what I do first is place the shadow onto my finger, and then work it onto my lid, and then I go in with the brush. So going into this Chaos, the blue, I'm gonna put some on my finger. And I just kind of pat it on there. So I put just enough on the lid to now go in with my brush to work it in. So I'm gonna use the brush that it came with. This is the Urban Decay electric brush. It doesn't have a number or anything like that. It comes with the palette. I'm just gonna pat it on there. I'm telling you, like, these colors are so much, especially during the summertime. These are perfect colors, even in spring. And you want to make sure you blend all of this out so all the colors can form together.
So I ended up switching over to the BH Cosmetics brush in number 6. This was the collaboration with Ashley Tisdale. Throughout this video, I know y'all heard me say blending like 15-20 times, but I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm telling you, it changed my life because I learned how to blend. And I'm still kind of learning, but I mean, the beginning, what it looked like before, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Now I feel like it's getting 10 times better.
I'm gonna go back into my Morphe 35. I'm gonna go back into my Morphe 3502 palette and go back into that brown shade and just kind of smudge, blend this out is what I'm trying to say. Blend this out some more. All right, we're pretty much done. And if you feel like you didn't blend enough, keep blending. It's okay, keep blending. But that blue is gonna disappear, and then you gotta go back into that blue again and just add more blue. This is where it gets tricky. I ended up adding the electric blue, the chaos, underneath my eye. But the thing about that is it starts to turn black. So you gotta be really, if you have another blue, an intense blue like this, I strongly recommend that you use that.
The eyeliner that I am using is by LANCOME. I have to say it like that because I always have a hard time pronouncing it, but this is the color Sapphire, and I'm gonna use the smudger on the opposite end to kind of smudge it in after I placed it on there. Going back into Chaos, I'm gonna add that blue to my lower lash line, and this is the part where it got tricky because it started turning into this ashy blue black, and I just had to keep on topping it with more Chaos and smudging it out. I'm almost at the finish line. I'm going to add my black liner by ULTA. To add a little bit of razzle dazzle, going back into that Urban Decay Electric Palette, I'm going to use the color Revolt and add that into the inner corners.
So now that I'm done with this eye, I'm going to move on to this eye, and then I'm going to add my mascara and my lashes, and then this is going to come together.
Alright, so this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned for part 2 with my hair, and as always, queens, I hope you get the same results or even better. See you next time.